Cathedral of Barcelona, Spain. This church has been under construction for 142 years. The Basílica de la Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, Spain was begun in 1882 with expected completion in 2026. With successful completion in 2026, the church will achieve 144 total years of construction. Dr. John Stith Pemberton invented Coca-Cola on May 8, 1886, forever transforming the world's eating patterns. The drink's name comes from two of its original ingredients, coca leaves, a source of legal cocaine, and cola nuts, a source of caffeine. As a pharmacist from Atlanta, he had access to a wide range of chemicals and natural components. A family loading groceries worth of $20 in a $1,000 car, before going to their $15,000 house in 1956. The Railway Tavern in Charfield, built in the 1800s, was situated next to the railway station. Today, it still stands, impeccably well preserved over the years. An image of a young girl at a 19th-century workhouse, taken after having her head shaved. Being poor during this period in time invariably meant life growing up in the slums. Newsgirl and Newsboy in New York, 1896. A young boy sits with his teddy amidst the rubble from bombings. London, 1945. Great Eastern iron sail-powered, paddle-wheel and screw-propelled steamship designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel and built on the River Thames, London, England. She was the largest ship ever built at the time of her 1858 launch, and had the capacity to carry 4,000 passengers from England to Australia without refueling. Illustration from Jules Verne's A Floating City, illustration by Jules Ferrat. How many people in this channel actually lived in the 50s, 60s, and 70s? Medical visit, do you remember that increase? Tell us about that day and what happened to you? Passengers watching the in-flight film on an Imperial Airways flight. April 1925. Millie and Christine McCoy were conjoined twins. They were born into slavery along with their mother and sold to a showman. The McCoy sisters spoke 5 different languages. They sang and danced. They had 3 stage names, the Carolina Sisters, the 8 Wonder of the World, and the Two-Headed Nightingale. The twins traveled around the world performing. They overcame years of slavery, forced medical observations and forced to perform at fairs. Sitting on the porch snapping beans or shelling peas. Women window cleaners working during the 1910s. A stewardess for Southwest Airlines in 1972. A girl named April was able to lift her whole family on her back, over 425 pounds. Muscle Beach, California, 1955. Mountain guides carry a rich lady who wanted to climb Vesuvius in 1910, Italy. A New York policeman hanging from a girder, 1920. Charles Baker was a notable American inventor born into slavery on August 3, 1859, in Savannah, Missouri. After losing his mother, Betsy McKay, when he was just 3 months old, Baker was raised by his owner's wife, Sally McKay, and his father, Abraham Baker. He was the youngest of 5 children, including Susie, Peter, Annie, and Ellen, who were all freed following the Civil War. The Ginigie Tower, a 45-meter-tall fortified tower house built in the 1300s, with holm oak trees growing in hanging gardens at its top. Lucca, Italy. A woman waxing her kitchen floor by hand. The third-class menu of RMS Titanic. Have a seat and enjoy the music. Private sleeping berth on the Boeing 377 Stratocruiser, 1947. The true cowboys, the black men, were called cowboy because black men were called boy. Whites were called cattlemen until the term cowboy became popular. All of a sudden they were the cowboys. There's always a background to history. That rodeo back in the 50s. Texas in around 1910. The first American aircraft carrier. Converted from a coal cargo ship, USS Langley, 1928. This was Las Vegas in 1947. A family buy their little sod roof house on the prairie, 1870. A mother and her children, 1910. Doug Coombs dropping in at Corbett's Couloir, Wyoming, 1989. Ann River Logging Company, Kennebec County, Minnesota. A photograph of a load of logs. Containing a total of 400 feet. 21 feet high with an estimated weight of sled chains, and logs is 5 tons. Being pulled by 4 horses, Minnesota, 1892. Helsingborg, then versus now. Blackpool Tower, 1890. Evolution of 1 Times Square. This is how they used to paint the Golden Gate Bridge in 1947. Three young women eat spaghetti on inflatable mattresses, 1939. Tina Louise. (1958). Robert Earl Hughes, 1926 to 1958, heaviest person recorded at 1,071 pounds, walked unaided. No one knows what these ollipops were called, but we ate them every summer. Do you know it name? Steve McQueen, Looking for the Eyes of Jane Mansfield.